for you.
Praise the Lord, church. My name is Godwin Ikenze, and I would like to say I am a product of the days of His power, and I'm very grateful. So the testimony I want to share, let me give a backstory so everybody gets it. So I went to the boarding school, a boarding house, and in the boarding house, there is this classmate of mine that when, at night, he brought a phone to school, and at night he puts on adult content. And then people gather around, we students, we gather around, and then we start watching with him. And then over time, I didn't know what it was doing to me. I became addicted to adult content. That was in GSS 2. I became addicted to adult content, and I started masturbating. It was so bad. At that point, I didn't even know it was bad or anything. But growing up, coming to church, hearing it in church, knowing that, okay, it's very bad, I shouldn't be doing this. But at that point, I was stopped, and I couldn't get out of it. And it was making me depressed and all of that. I didn't like it at all. Then, at some point in time, it was weird and all. And there was a time whereby I would say, okay, it's a disciplinary issue. Probably I should just discipline myself. And I will go probably 2 weeks and say, okay, I'm not doing this. But even at the end of that 2 weeks, or before the end of that 2 weeks, a spirit will come and molest me in my dream. And the moment I'm like waking up, I fall back to that addiction, and it was sad. And just like the way I can't remember how I started, I just handed everything over to God. I was like, God, see, take this thing, I'm tired. I handed everything over to God. And then one day, I was on my bed, I was just relaxing, and then it came to me that I have not done this thing in a very long time. And then not only that, this time around, because obviously I still had some things to do, when the spirits come to me in my dream and molest me, after I got delivered from the addiction, when I wake up this time, I don't feel the urge to masturbate anymore. But I knew I needed to do something, so I was led by the Spirit to listen to Apostle's message, Complete Deliverance 1, 2, and 3. So I did so. I followed suit. I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and over time, I became free from this thing. That even when this spirits come to me in my dream, before I would just be there and then they do whatever they like. But this time I wake up immediately to like, no, I'm not involved in this thing anymore. I can't do this anymore. And secondly, after graduating university, I went back home to stay with my mom, and then I was going about life, work and all. Then I wasn't a prayerful person. My sister would say, you this boy, you don't like prayer. And then it was true. Then one day I went, I was just working, and then at night, I just stood up. I went to go and pray. I felt like praying all of a sudden. And the moment I knelt down and closed my eyes to pray, I saw a light shine upon me. And since that day till this very moment, I am praying, even times that I don't know that I'm praying. I'm just praying within me. Till this very moment, I am just praying within me. Aside that, I want everybody to know that God is faithful, because you see something, I used to go about life very somehow. I don't know, I just know I went to school. I don't know what I'm meant to do in this life. And then by the Spirit of God, I found purpose. I'm walking in purpose. I was led to listen to Apostle's old messages. That was power of productivity, kingdom economics, the hidden wisdom of God to find purpose and all of that. Until this very moment, I'm working in purpose. So it is very possible. What Apostle will say that God will download a vision for you of the next 20 years of your life. It is very, very possible. And I encourage everybody, press in the knowledge of God. Press to God. Praise the Lord, church.
Can we join him in